Have you found a
Hello, everybody! We are now streaming a little bit of a web page. A web page of all things. It's amazing! You should all go to the Nexus and obviously get Amorous Adventures because this guy up here above me in that little window recommends it.
Hi, I'm MigrantThought. We're going to talk about our different philosophies of what we do for Skyrim Special Edition.
Yeah, okay, so pretty much when Skyrim Special Edition went live, I started modding a little bit of it. Didn't do very much. It was kind of like, okay, I spent a week on this, and these aren't the mods I'm looking for. You know, little wave hand there. And so after that, I went back to my Relic Hunter run, the regular edition. I'm like, this is so much better. And yeah, I did that for about a couple weeks before I decided, let's play other games. So, coming back to the Special Edition, what brought me back to the Special Edition was the Sacrosanct Better Vampires patch. For a while, I've been wanting to do like a vampire playthrough where you burn in the sunlight, you're always hated, because Better Vampires has a lot of good mechanics for that. Anyway, that's what I've been doing lately, but MigrantThought has recently posted a video about how to convert Worm's Tooth, because Worm's Tooth was this mod that was taken down from the Nexus, taken down from the internet, because the author had issues with his personal life. Anyway, the result is that this, this unobtainable mod is still available on discrete websites in places. MigrantThought has actually ported it to the Special Edition. He has a video up on his channel about doing that. I think if he's in the Twitch chat, he'll probably paste his channel at some point. But, it's just... what led you to convert Worm's Tooth of all mods, Migrant?
Well, for Worm's Tooth, to be honest, it was one of the first new land mods to come out for Skyrim, and I found it very early when I first started Skyrim, like so soon after the Creation Kit came out, and there's a special place in my heart, which why it hurts so much more when the author just nuked everything. I also tried to actually voice act for the orc Shargam when he was looking for voice actors, and I used a studio mic for a student TV web or organization I was a part of, and then he said, "Yeah, I found someone else to do it." But I constantly started watching it. I went back recently after the conversion to actually test it to see if it was actually playable, and he did actually make some improvements on something that I really wanted. There's a fort that you could buy for a player home. It was really bare bones and vanilla, but he actually added some characters that were voice added, added some personality to it. I still have some issues with it, but combined with some other mods that I use for my normal player home, and is like I could convert it over to there, and especially when that mod that allows you to build your own settlement with campfire, that would so improve things with everything.
That campfire mod, hold on a second. Don't remember what it was called. Damn.
Hold on, I think I have it.
Okay. Yeah,
Hearthcraft.
Hearthcraft. Okay, so Hearthcraft is Skyrim. Let's see. Okay, Hearthcraft Skyrim. So the Hearthcraft Skyrim mod allows you to actually use Chesco's campfire framework to have a farmhouse in your inventory. Oh, that weight though. You're over encumbered instantly, I say. But it's okay because you can place the freaking house. Now, does that door work? Does it actually take you into interior?
I've never tested it.
Oh,
I presume
my.
It does.
Oh my, that would be awesome. I've looked at this. I've looked at it, and
it's what? No, it's what?
Yeah.
Oh, the settlement system should have been, or at least very close to it.
Well, the thing is that
and I'll just add on God mode to build the settlement like I do for Fallout 4.
Let's be honest here. Let's be brutally honest. A lot of Bethesda buildings and Fallout 4 buildings are all prefabs. And you can tell because they're almost identical. They make like an occasional tweak to the outside of it after they place it, but they're almost always prefabs built in the creation kit and just plop down all over the place. That's why there's so many buildings that have, those boarded up windows. It's because, generic boarded up house, paste, and I'm not saying that they shouldn't be able to do that. I think that, hell, if anything, like, that is the way to responsibly create a gigantic world. The problem is they don't create a gigantic world. They create a kind of medium-sized world. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Even though it's very condensed, Fallout 4 is very small, especially since that ocean is basically unplayable, and then there's that whole northern border. There's a mod that actually extends and adds stuff in, too. It's like, you could have done that. And Bethesda doesn't really seem to understand that white space is not a bad thing. Personally, I think Skyrim should be at least a third to half amount larger, with just maybe a few other settlements popped around.
You know, the funny thing is that they so prided themselves on their radiant encounters on the road. Like, white space is the perfect place to have those. You know, provided you actually...
Fallout 3 was a perfect example. There was enough white space in that game.
Yeah. Fallout 3 felt very desolate to some people. I actually felt that it played off the wasteland and made it feel better than it possibly...
The only problem I really had with Fallout 3 is the buildings were copy and pasted, and it got really boring to look at.
Yeah, wasn't there an interiors mod that actually added, like, almost every building enterable?
Yeah, I don't use it though because it makes the game more unstable. So the Tale of Two Wastelands might make it.
I'm looking at doing another Tale of Two Wastelands run fairly soon, just like scrapping my old one and getting started with a brand new one. And I want to see about incorporating those, both the old Capital Wasteland and the New Vegas, and just making all the interiors enterable. And I want to just be... Because, let's face it, how much time have I killed with Fallout 4? 7 days of game time. And I'm looking at Skyrim with my 2,000 plus hours, and I'm like, Tale of Two Wastelands with all interiors? That sounds fun. You know, open world exploration. That's what I like. That's why the world's getting smaller and smaller. Bug the shit out of me, I would say.
One example of a good example of what they could have done with Skyrim is actually the Great Call of Nocturnal. It's a tad too large because it's empty, but it shows the example of how large this world is, because you have to use a horse or the flash shoes, something about Grey Jack running shoes.
Hold on. The boots of Spring-Heeled Jack.
Yep.
Yeah, he was actually a legend in, hold on a second. Hold on, just a moment.
Tomorrow you sail for the kingdom of Daggerfall.
Sorry about that, I had music playing. Anyway, I had to say that, as far as the boots of Spring-Heeled Jack, it was a legend in England, basically. This guy, you know, and so they took that legend and they applied it to the Thieves Guild, which wasn't a bad idea, really. But yeah, as far as that goes, it's kind of interesting. Great Call of Nocturnal, though. I looked at this city. This is huge-ass city of Hammerfell.
I'm pretty sure he's using models from Beyond Skyrim, too.
I don't know about that necessarily. I think that some of this stuff was very much handmade because of, you know, the fact that this box and this ball do not fit together. You know, I know the guy that was making Roche Bear. He was using textures from Beyond Skyrim for one of them. That was like an open source thing. Yeah, that's neat. I mean, I think that personally, the concept of this mod, the Great Call of Nocturnal, was really fun. The problem is
the puzzles were good, except for that run around in circles.
Yeah. Well, what I was going to say is that a lot of people, you know, they didn't realize in the beginning that this is actually horribly lore breaking. Like having the champion of Cyrodiil's ghost suddenly appear. It's like, wait a second, you're still alive, and like what it was.
I'd never finished the mod, so, because I want to go back and replay it.
Well, spoilers.
I also got really angry when the city was so bad.
Yeah. Well, the problem is that you can make a truly large city, but to fill it with content and have that content feel meaningful, that usually requires two things. 1, time and effort, and 2, voice actors. And
he could have voiced all the characters for all I care. There was 2 characters that were voice acted. One was halfway decent. The other one was really bad. But then all the other ones are like mute or the generic Skyrim guards or the one random shopkeeper you run into. What I really wanted to do is you know how I like the teleportation mods and like go to your own plane of oblivion with those teleportation mods or go to your player home? I wanted to use the Grey Cowl's city as home base, and it's like this. It's in its own little separate sub-realm. It's actually in Tamriel somewhere.
It's its own quote-unquote world space,
And because I'm so sick of snow, having a desert would be a breath of fresh air.
Mm-hmm. And now someone said they fixed the lore inconsistencies with the director's cut, which is kind of funny.
To be honest, when it comes to mods, I just come up with some harebrained retcon.
Oh, absolutely. But when you look at this city right here, that looks really neat, like from a distance, from above. And
the LEDs were horrible.
Of course the LEDs were horrible. Well, but I'm trying to remember now, Valamora, Morrowind, let's see, I misspelled it, of course, because it's not Bala, it's Bal. But, there! This is the thing I saw. This screenshot, not a screenshot, but this somebody made. Like, this is the Balmora that we should have had, like when we had things the size of Daggerfall. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, if we actually wanted to go realistic with the city, this is what Balmora would look like. Somebody did this posted it to Reddit, apparently. But, this is a pretty famous picture here. And, this is the kind of cities that I always imagine when I'm playing an Elder Scrolls game, and I never see in reality. So, people say, well, size. Yes, size is a lot of work. Yep. But this is actually average or smaller than your Daggerfall cities. The thing is that look at the actual...
It's about making it feel like it's a believable city, not actually making it representative.
Yeah. Well, what The Witcher does, The Witcher just says, well, you can't go in 75% of these buildings, okay? They're locked, and you don't have a lockpick skill. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to have a normal amount of people that would be in this city.
Or even have districts you can't enter. That's what Dragon Age does.
Yeah, I was going to say, districts you can't enter. That's what I would have done with the Imperial City. That is exactly what I've done with the Imperial City, not just made it a generic ring. If anything, let's go ahead and...
And then you can just rely on modders to fill it out.
Yeah, exactly. If modders want to add more in. Here's an example of the Imperial City right here.
It should really have a second outer ring.
I was going to say, at least a second outer ring. In fact, there's a mod, let's see, it doesn't work with Better Cities, but Imperial City Expanded, I believe it was called. Something like that. It's like I Expand, and I thought it was around here somewhere. Oh, well, there was one that added another ring, and it actually goes over some of the water and stuff. And then the idea is the parts that go over the water are actually what do you call it? They were the place where the Imperial Navy was located, and they had gates through it.
Okay.
And all the books talked about the Imperial Navy. We get here, there's 3 boats docked over there.
Less than what Skyrim has.
Less than what Skyrim has, yes.
At least they were more artistic.
Yep.
In Skyrim, you just have generic longboats everywhere, except for the one thing when you kill the Emperor. What?
Do you see this one right here?
Oh yeah, it's just an L. The mods that add the docks and stuff outside the gate expand the city. There should also be an underground complex for the lower lives. And you see that mountain cliff for the Imperial Fort right there? There should be buildings right there too.
Yeah, I would say so. I would definitely say so. In fact, I would... I'd move the Imperial Fort over, probably build it into the mountain itself, And then where the Imperial Fort is, I would have that be like the real market district. And then, like, you know, expand the residential out over here. Problem is, like, they talked about by the Cliffs of Solitude. Like, you can have multiple cliffs. Like, have it spike out in multiple directions. Like, that was one of the exclamations they shouted. By the Cliffs of Solitude. Like, so we know Solitude had a lot of cliffs.
For Whiterun, all you need is, basically... The Cloud District is the normal keep. Then whatever the second district is the inner city, and then you should have farms on the outside, more than what they have in the main game.
Yeah, but again, like the problem is if you make a truly huge city, number one, like a Luftaran, for example, you know, truly huge city that they were working on, it didn't fit. Like it looked like. Okay, why isn't Windhelm this big? Why isn't Solitude this big? What's going on here? And
I like that they're actually building it off the coast. I was really looking forward to that mod.
Yeah, of course. But my point is that when you make a piece of modded content that is larger than what exists in the game, you know, like that still
exists. You need mods to compensate for the cities.
Exactly. Now, I was looking at Skyrim's quote-unquote Frontier Fortress mod. That was a good start. Like, where it actually had, you know, all these new towns that were in Arena. Because if we go to Elder Scrolls Arena Skyrim map, if we go to the Skyrim map from Arena, we can see, like, just how much stuff there was.
Is Skyrim one of the smaller countries in Tamriel, too? I'm starting to feel like that is.
Well, it's actually the, I think, the third largest. But the problem is...
Whenever I look at the maps, though, I know this is distorted in real life. Like, the United States is actually bigger than a country that's the same size and everything. Yeah. But it looks like it's really tiny.
Yeah, well, what happened is it would take you, like, a week to get from Whiterun to Riverwood. Like, when you traveled from here. You know, and then another, like, few days to get to Oakwood. And it's like, okay...
That's a tad overkill.
Yeah. Well, it was worse in Daggerfall. Daggerfall just was overkill. This felt like a realistic world space, at least to me. The problem is that when you actually try to travel there without fast travel, getting from place to place, you know, the speed was prohibitively long. Number one, like it was prohibitively slow. Number two, there wasn't anything to find in the middle. Occasionally getting jumped by a monster. You know, maybe seeing a farm outside one of the, like the walls of Riverwood, the city. I had to, do that. But yeah, outside the city walls of Riverwood, you might see like a couple farms and stuff. But, other than that, you didn't really, there wasn't anything in the wilderness. And that's because they were just getting started. You know, like this was the beginning. My problem with the development of the Elder Scrolls is instead of improving on what they had, they throw everything out and then start over. Throw everything out and start over. And as a result, we end up with something, you know, it's like, oh no, throw classes out. You know, people are like, well, I don't want to play a restricting class. Like, build your own custom class then. They've let you do that since Daggerfall. And custom classes are fucking awesome. But they help define your character instead of just playing a god tier person who is, jack of all trades, master of all.
I think they could have been a bit more restrictive with Skyrim system, though I do enjoy that if you really get bored with something, you can drop something and say pick up a two-handed sword. Yeah. Whenever I get the Bloodskull Blade, I equip it because it's my favorite two-handed weapon.
Keep in mind that in Morrowind, I don't have spear skill as a chosen skill at all. But my custom class allows me, regardless, for me to... I can just pick up a spear and use it. It's like, your spear skill is too low to hit this efficiently. I'm like, screw it. Cast buff, fortify spears. Now I can hit it, you know? And my spear skill goes up, but slower because I'm not as good at it. You know, I don't have that natural talent for spears like I do bows, but it doesn't matter because you still have the freedom to use anything you want. That's what I'm trying to say, is in the past... Like, in every game from Daggerfall to to Skyrim, unless you chose that your character was forbidden to use X, whenever you built a custom class, you could still use the other stuff, you know? And so it was never restricting in that way. It's just that people felt like, oh, well, you know, I can't be awesome from the get-go. Now,
one of the trees in Skyrim was completely useless, the lockpicking tree. All I did was download a little ruler for the lockpick, and that solves the problem.
Yeah. If we look at Skyrim, here's an example with Skyrim. Skyrim actually,
like Wayfinder.
Yeah, I was gonna say it created the fingersmithing tree, which was pickpocketing and lockpicking combined, I believe. Yeah, fortify fingersmith. There it is. Yeah, pickpocket is replaced with fingersmith, and the idea is it's both lockpicking and pickpocketing, and that was cool. And I never felt that lockpicking and pickpocketing should have been their own trees. Like there just isn't enough within those little, like at least the mini game of lockpicking to justify something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, and also illusion and alchemy. Alchemy, well, it's overpowered, but I never use it because it's so hard to build up. And illusion is like you have to use two hands to even get it to work, and even then is like doesn't even work. It'd be easier just to throw a fireball at the guy instead of trying to calm him.
Yeah, well, Harvest Overhaul is something whenever I want to do an alchemy character, I use this. And it basically just says, you know, Red Mountain Flower. Like, you serious? You look at the number of flowers there. Red Mountain Flower 3. That's more like it. You know, that's pretty much it. Is now if you get the Green Thumb perk, which increases the amount of flowers you get, it will double that. But you know, the idea is that at least half of whatever plant you're picking from, you should get. You know, are you that inept to where you know pick an entire bush of stuff? You know, and
you touch the butterfly, you get 2 butterfly wings.
Yay! But no, butterflies are a little different.
Oh no, I remind me of a comic where he says, interact with butterfly.
It's like, oh yeah, it's like, oh, catch the butterfly. And it's like, you get 2 butterfly wings. Yeah, there was a good Japanese cartoon. I don't remember the name of it. It was all comedy, but this guy was trying to be a hero, and he was in a classic RPG. And he had other party members, and the party members were stronger than him. And he's like, but I'm supposed to be the main character. I'm supposed to be the protagonist. Why am I so weak? And they're like, it's okay. And he's like, damn it. So he threw a dagger, and he sees this little girl in the background just get hit with the dagger, and it goes, you gain 15 EXP. And he's like, no! Because he's supposed to be the hero. It's like, you know, it kills this little girl. You gain 15 EXP. Ah! It's fucking hilarious as a concept because, you know, he's trying to do good. He's trying to be, you know, that avatar of goodness, and then he accidentally kills a little girl.
He's Will Smith when he shoots little girl with a science book.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I was just thinking of... I always think back to Deep Blue Sea for some reason.
Hey, your audio's cutting out.
Are you sure? Are you absolutely sure?
Yeah, sorry, my audio hub's horrible too, so I'm checking that.
Yeah, your audio is fine on my side.
You can edit this out.
Edit what out? There is no editing other than... But yeah. Either way. So, as far as modding, what was the first thing you did when you started the Special Edition?
Well, my primes, one, the unofficial patch.
Obviously.
The alternate start. Basically, I was playing through it, and I decided I'm just going to go through my default character, El Sahim. He's based off, the only good part of Season 3 of Arrow was that name, which means the arrow. He's typically an arcane archer, though I've during this current playthrough I favored magic far more because I wanted to be College of Winter Hold, so when The Somerset Isle eventually gets ported. If it gets ported, I can play through it and see what it's like.
I have to say that I was genuinely disappointed with the Somerset Island. I feel like if it was called, let's just say...
I'm gonna make it like it's an alternate reality.
Yeah, well, all I was gonna say is if it was called, like, you know, Mistvale Island, or, you know, like...
They could have just done the little island...
Yeah.
Next to the whole Somerset mainland. They didn't have to do the whole thing.
Yeah, well, they very much did, unfortunately. And we got Alinor there, which is a few grass huts. The Crystal City of Alinor, yeah.
Really?
It's a few grass huts, yeah. And then there's some floating islands above it.
I'm gonna say it's an alternate reality. When I have an idea for a immersive character playthrough with these crazy ideas. I'm just gonna, for example, there's this mod called Skyrim Romance. I'm gonna say, remember that time when you kids were playing around with a Wabbajack and you actually stabbed me? Well, I turned into a woman, was forced to romance men.
Right, that is madness. Okay, so we got Skyrim equip weapon, equip anything. Yeah, equip anything, I believe. Yeah, there's equipping overhaul. And then the idea behind the equipping overhaul is...
I actually have that.
Yeah, you want to be able to equip a broom, basically. No, not this one, no. Yeah, I was going to say, there's a mod, and I forgot what it is, but you can literally equip brooms and other things. And, yeah. I would say so. Someone said axes are incredibly underwhelming in Oblivion. Yes, I would say so. But remember, they're blunt. The axes use the blunt tree. So I always thought that was really dumb. That was the beginning of the dumbing down of the things.
What I have that allows you to equip your favorite weapons is visible gear.
Visible gear. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
It's not the one you're looking for. You can't equip a broom. If I have the opportunity, I'd actually equip the Staff of Magnus on my back. Because I use that when I transform into Lich form.
Yeah. I understand that. But please don't compare real-life physics to video games. Ragdoll time! Oh, God. Let's see here. It was, I cannot type today at all. Yes, I was doing the Sonia Belmont bill. There we go.
I've seen that video.
Yeah, yes, obviously. It was like video game physics, obviously. You know that they bounce once, right? And only once.
Okay.
That is, they are not made of Jello pudding.
All right. Well, my second mod, my second mod I have is alternate start, of course, and I was looking through that, and of course I said my El Sahim character, and then I found out a particular alternate start that was for Imperials. You could be part of the Penniless Oculatus, and because I typically like to kill the Dark Brotherhood because it never matches my character, it felt like it fits in, and I can always include that in my origin. Basically, I use a mod that allows me to get all the words, shout words at fart, and maybe I add like Fusro Da as a start because it's like your default one. It's tad overpowered too, but
Fusro Da overpowered? What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
It's basically assumed. He already knows he's a Dragonborn, but until that crucial point where he has Dragon Soul, the Greybirds don't become aware of it.
The Greybirds!
Greybeard.
Yes, I know, but the Greybirds, I'm just thinking of those. They're not pigeons, they're mourning doves. Okay, I was just thinking of like these mourning doves. Just imagine, like they still have the body of the Greybeards, but then they're very clearly having the heads of mourning doves, and we'll make them the Greybirds. And we need to change Parthenax as well, make him a giant pigeon.
Well, I will say this. You remember that rock companion in Dragon Age Origins?
Yes, very much.
You would have a hell of a time in Europe.
Oh,
pigeons everywhere.
Yep. Well, I mean, there's so many rocks in Scotland that you could potentially just lay down and no one would know you were there. But as for the Penitus Oculatus, yeah, if you get the alternate start live another life mod, you can actually, if you choose Imperial as your race, you know, you can be, you know, that's your racial start, is for the Penitus Oculatus. So that's kind of neat. Now you'll notice that the way these work, though, is if you complete the Unbound quest, you are quote-unquote removed from the faction. And
it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, though they do that with all the different factions. I mean, we got...
I'd never bought the Thalmor alternate stars. Like, why would you go against the very faction you're part of?
Yeah, well, keep in mind, once you agent in the Thalmor embassy, you know, like you are removed from the faction once, and the embassy will be closed to you. You know, once you start with that, because, you know...
Well, as soon as you go to the party, she says, she doesn't know who you are.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to fudge it by not talking to her. And, you know, you can do that. You can actually fudge it by not talking to her at all and just starting a scene right away. Yeah. But yeah, I forgot what the other ones were. I believe there were a few more racial starts. And
live in the Orc stronghold. So on one of my playthroughs, I did a Dunmar Refugee for Raven Rock. Playing that as a starting character is a very interesting experience. It's basically like a starter island in an MMO, except it's far more difficult. Of course, you have to ignore Mirak because you're not the Dragonborn. And if you go to the Skull Village, they'll completely ignore you. Says, we're doing something.
Yeah, I know. I'm just remembering when Mirak appears, all will bear witness. None will stand to oppose him. And yeah, that was kind of bad. I'm just remembering all the different starts, the racial starts, because you got Eric the Slayer's childhood friend.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Well,
except no one will know you're.
Yeah, I was gonna say, no one will know who you are, obviously. But
you could just assume you're a childhood friend. You went away for a long time, and then you came back. Of course, Rorgsted's completely screwed up anyway. So
yeah, yeah.
Where do who was named after Rorgsted? Was it the Rorgsted there, or has it been there longer? Because that when Horstfeet is from it.
Yeah.
Also, how do their crops grow so much? Oh wait, there's a vampire lair around the corner.
Yeah, exactly. I'm noticing something behind you. Is that a Vault-Tec lunchbox?
Yes.
Yes, I got one too.
How'd you even see that?
Yeah, I saw it when you shifted over a little bit, and you know the Vault-Tec lunchbox there. Yeah, I show mine off every once in a while. I'm playing Fallout for shits and giggles.
Because when I don't have any place to put them, I use it to store these.
Oh yes. That is the Silver Shroud, right?
Yes, I just did a video where I unbox these, as well as Japanese candies. Right, these rice things are extremely slimy.
Yeah, nobody wants slimy rice cakes. Oh,
I'm gonna have some fun times having other people try those out. I make a really weird face when I did the recording.
Yep.
Sorry, I want to make sure the stuff doesn't fall down. Sorry.
It's all falling down. I do recommend turning off autofocus on your camera. You will live a better life as a result.
Okay, I will look into that.
Yeah, autofocus is
behind my bookshelf, so.
Yeah, well, I have to say that ever since I got my laptop, I haven't been using the Roku on my own. I've been always just plugging the laptop into the television.
Oh, I barely use it, and I just have it in case I want to put something on my TV. Yeah. I literally have this in TV in case I want to play emulated games on a monitor.
Oh,
or
yeah.
I have friends over.
That makes a lot of sense, actually. I mean, when you get enough controllers together, you can play stuff like Castle Crashers and Dungeon Defenders and games like that.
Apparently, my computer doesn't take 4 monitors, though, because it detected it, but it wouldn't link it up. And then it screwed up my whole desktop.
That's kind of funny. Oh, well. Either way, so other than, obviously, alternate starts and stuff like that, what would you say the most obscure mod that you put onto your special edition is?
Hold on a sec, I'll look for it. I have one. Universal something. Where's for tweaks? Is it under tweaks?
Amazing follower tweaks?
No. It's it basically converts all the quivers in Skyrim into a Nordic quiver because I got so annoyed that I have these different type of arrows.
Yeah. Every time you change arrow types, all of a sudden you get a different quiver on your back. It's
one of the reasons why I hated immersive weapons too. They kept changing different quivers too. It changes about 90% of the quivers. You still run to like Forsworn and Felmar quivers, but whatever.
Yeah.
And I better everyone else is using the same quiver instead of using different quivers. Well, that makes my brain hurt less when I think about it.
No, yeah, I mean, I would just say you, personally, changing your quiver type every time you change the arrows doesn't make any sense. You just put new arrows in your quiver.
Mm-hmm. You know? Of course, when we get beyond Skyrim Bruma and the rest of Cyrodiil, I'll have to explain why Cyrodiil is using a Nordic quiver, but I don't really give a shit. I would like to figure out how to do it myself.
Bruma's okay. Bruma's okay because... Bruma and Skyrim are closely interconnected, or at least they were in the lore before, we had the Skyrim Civil War, and they closed down, all of the entrances. It was pretty bad. The whole border doesn't make any fucking sense. It's a good sandbox. I love Skyrim as a sandbox game, but the story is fucking dumb. I
have it here, but now I can't even find it. Wow.
Let's see here. Dov posted something. Dov posted Real Armory. This is for the special edition here.
That gives specific NPCs unique weapons.
Hey, Migrant, look at Royal Armory new artifacts.
Yeah, I know about that. It gives specific NPCs unique weapons.
Ancano, yes! He is best Thalmor. Ancano is definitely best Thalmor.
I like the chick in the
Elenwyn.
Elenwyn. She's a bitch.
Yeah. I mean, if we want a bimbo, we got one right here. She's got a glacial sword over her head there.
Okay. I do have some.
That's some symbolism right there. That's like the sword of Damocles, actually. You don't do what the Imperials say, and chunk.
I do have somewhat of respect for that character, especially with the position she was put in.
Oh yes, absolutely. But everything she suggests, she just kind of well, Folk Firebeard will handle it, And then when she suggests something to Folk Firebeard, let's hold a freaking parade, and then Folk Firebeard's what if we do it after the success? Oh, I guess it's best then. What wasn't your whole point to increase morale? How will increasing morale help after the war? The war ending makes everyone happy.
Mm-hmm.
It's she didn't think not only about the problems of it, but she didn't think about the to rebuttal his point at all. That's
yeah.
She's looking for a new sword after
You don't want to know her story in Armorous Adventures.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it involves a threesome.
It's fun, but it's bad.
Yeah. Obviously.
I guess you'd say the other niche one is that mod, too. I specifically use it so I can romance Urana, but...
Yep.
And occasionally sleep with a house crow.
Yes, indeed. Well, Fallout 4 definitely introduced the whole sleeping with people, but I gotta say, what mod were you talking about for Fallout 4? The one that had Nora alive?
Yeah, hold on, I'll pull it up for you.
Yeah, there is a mod that lets you have Nora survive
That's a picture of my dogs.
Yeah. Yeah, she survives the whole encounter and she's unfrozen before you are. What ends up happening, at least as far as I figure it, is you go to romance Kate and you're Nora's your follower. So basically after the quote-unquote lover's embrace, you know, it's like, did you sleep well? I know I did. And Nora's just kind of standing there like, okay. You know, absolutely fucked up. But then again, you know, the fact that you can quote-unquote romance multiple followers and then have one follower that is, you know, recently romanced versus another one that's long romanced and they sleep together. Like, it just doesn't make any fucking sense. Like,
I'm still trying to find it.
I believe that that guy Jim Sterling, he did a thing on how the polyamory or whatever in that game was so great, and I'm like, it's not because Bethesda is revolutionary, it's because Bethesda is lazy. About that, I mean. About that specifically. It's a checklist. Like, they had to check it off.
The romance system was still really bad.
Yeah, the romance system, you could tell they didn't even want it. It wasn't part of their core game design. It was very much a box that they just checked off and said, it's done. You know the way I said Bethesda isn't lazy? That's because I'm talking about Bethesda Game Studios, not Bethesda Softworks. Bethesda Softworks is one of the most... they're becoming EA. I'm serious. Bethesda Game Studios is chugging along. And keep in mind, I'm not talking about the ones who did the Special Edition. That's the Montreal branch. I'm talking about the ones who are currently working on the 10th Planet. Well, not 10th Planet, sorry. Starfield or whatever. It's the new trademark. So...
yeah, I posted in the Skype chat.
Yeah. Yeah, the problem is I have to mess with things when I pull up the Skype chat.
Okay,
so,
I'll send it to you on Twitter then.
Nora Companion. Oh, okay, it's a thingamajigger there. Let's see what we got. Yes, the modding problems was a really good video there.
No, not that. Oh, okay.
Yes, I know, but yeah, that's the modding problems there. It's,
okay, you never respond to that, so I didn't know how you.
Yeah. Well, it definitely exists. It definitely exists. It's like modding problems. Yeah, something like that. There's definitely meowing, but this is the one where Nora's alive. And how'd you get out of the vault? You lost him. Sean's gone. And then so
the reason I think this is a step in the right direction is I have a concept. I was planning to do a video for it, but I got burnt out for Fallout 4. I might go back to it. Basically, what a modder needs to do is combine it with an Ultra Start mod, then you discover Nate and or Nora, and then you work as basically what Oblivion did, where they're playing through the main quest. You could play through most of it by yourself, but for key stuff like going to the Institute itself, you need to have them there, and that voice acted character can be Someone said, what the fuck, who cares about romance options besides Lonely Fuckers? Gaming is about the shit that you can't do in real life, like finding treasure and killing monsters. So basically...
I understand that.
Gaming's not about that? Okay. How about having a three-way between Lydia and Serana?
It's Mass Effect. Mass Effect is absolute proof that romance options in games have to be a thing. Now, however, I think that the only one I really enjoyed was Dragon Age Origins. In Dragon Age Origins, I was not only able to romance Morrigan, but then they did the Witch Hunt DLC, and it acknowledged that romance, and actually, if you choose the right...
It expands upon the story.
Yeah, if you choose the right options, you can actually end your character at that point. You basically... You choose to leave with her, you go through the portal, and that's it, your character's done. Like, you have passed beyond the veil. It's over,
Question, if you do that before the expansion, does it create the new character? I never played it, so
if you play Awakening, it creates the new character, yeah. It's like, if you try to load your file from after you sacrificed yourself, for instance, then, there's that. So,
yeah. One thing I like about Amorous Adventures, despite all the weird stuff and the bad dialogue, is it actually does expand about her phobia or trauma with Molag Bal in an obvious bad writing kind of way. But there's a last encounter that ends at the end of the quest that is very hearting about the future between the Dragonborn and Serana, and I feel like that actually expands upon the character because basically there's only in the canon Dragonborn, he is basically in an immortal fight against Hermaeus Mora, and Hermaeus Mora is not going to let him die. Hermaeus Mora is going to do whatever he did to Mirac to the Dragonborn so he doesn't die. Only other person that had a similar experience is Serana, and she's immortal too, unless, of course, you cure her. But they're basically two people that have had similar experiences that are fighting this Daedric Lord for the rest of their existence.
Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that. Oh, let's see here. There was a mod that I thought was absolutely horrible, and it triggered in a bad way. It was called Tiny Serana, I believe. Yeah, Tiny Serana.
This makes her a kid. Oh, jeez.
There it is, Tiny Serana and adoptable children. So you got the Tiny Serana, and it's a thing that it's just like. This is the trigger, the nope.avi, like, okay, hold on a second, we got Valerica, we're gonna go over to, this is Valerica, this is, okay, so we got Tiny Serana in those clothes, it's horrible, and then we got Tiny Valerica, and, yeah, this is fucking terrible, and, it exists on the Nexus.
There's a lot of stuff in Skyrim modding that
it just triggered my nope.avi reflex. Now, I actually like the idea of maybe a slightly different looking Babette, like a Babette overhaul, just because, you know, it's okay, you know, but...
You don't... There's no hint of romantic interest with Babette. She's an actual child. For Serana, it's implied she's attracted to you because... There's a dialogue was you don't learn anything by sleeping with, and the Dragonborn response is, "Are you talking with me about me?" Says, "Let's move on."
Yeah. But no, it's very much. I went over this before during a live stream, but I actually like two Japanese cartoons. One is called Dance in the Vampire Bund, and the other is called Moon Phase. They're both about these girls who are vampires, and therefore, despite looking like children, they're ancient. And it's like, you know, the storyline that surrounds them is so good that I can overlook the fact that they're children, but there's, in both of those series, just that moment where it's like, nope.
I feel really weird when I watch Excel World.
Excel World?
Remember, everyone's like...
a Cell World, right. That it's by the same author as Sword Art Online, and it's that had Scarlet Rain, and the idea is that she was in that unlimited burst world for way too long, and so her soul aged and not her body, basically, and that's why she's weird.
Well, even like they're like 12 and 13, and you get all these fanny shots and other stuff you've seen teenagers and Nickelodeon stuff do, or older.
No.
Weird. But as soon as they get to like the actual world, it was like, now this is cool.
Yeah. No.
Because they look like adults.
I don't really like a Cell World. I mean, I like it objectively better.
It's better than Sword Art.
It's better than Sword Art, but that's because it was written later. Either way, going back to modding, because we were talking about the the fact that these mods exist and you can customize the characters. I mean, I believe it was Poor Near Zim.
Yeah.
I spelled it wrong, of course, because, genius. But Skyrim, yes. Nazim, not Near-Zim. Near-Zim was a character in StarCraft, which I keep trying to do there. There we go. Poor. Yeah, he's poor. He doesn't talk about the Cloud District. You can give him coins. That's, and
then you killed him.
Yes, and then I killed him. And he died in my playthrough. Unfortunately, I made him into a thrall, but, eventually that vampire bloodlust just kicks in, and He didn't have enough health left.
I really need to play that vampire game Gopher played. It was something Bloodlines.
Oh, okay. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines.
Yeah, Masquerade.
Here's the deal. You choose from one of the vampire bloodlines.
Well, I'm going to choose a crazy one, of course.
The Malkavians, yes.
Yeah.
Malkavians, for those who are watching right now, I'm going to pull this up again. I do it like every stream. Vampire Malkavian stop sign. Like, the Malkavians are crazy people. When they, like, the Malkavian walks up to a stop sign, and literally, you have a dialogue with the stop sign. You can say, like, you can say to the stop sign, no, you stop it. Or you can, like, give up and go, you win this round, stop sign. You know? And that's because they're legitimately crazy people. You know, I think this fan art someone made basically sums it up. Right there. You've made a powerful enemy today sign, you know? But
then there's also the Nosferatu.
Yeah. The Nosferatu, or the other people.
An interesting game.
Yeah, that turns the whole game into a stealth action game, because if you're seen, you're attacked. You are a monster.
We need more games like this where it's like it's built around the different character types and stuff.
No. There's very much... the big problem with a Malkavian is that you will misinterpret what people are saying. And so you will come back with a reaction that will go, wait, what? You know? And because like what you feel are legitimate reactions, other people are seeing as this person's off their rocker, you know. No, I was gonna say that all the other bloodlines, like one is basically a fire mage, you know. There's all kinds of different bloodlines, and like you have multiple ways to play the game, and that's fun.
Okay, so another mod I have is the choice is yours.
The choice is yours. That's a good one.
Because I don't want the stupid Markarth guy to give me his dumb letter. I don't want to look for the stupid dog.
That's right.
Felskreath.
Yeah, I've got things to do, you can say to Bobbus.
Well, no, here's the thing. The guard still follows you, and it starts the quest, though. That needs to be tweaked.
Have you seen the dog out there?
No, I literally, when I was testing it, like I was live streaming, it's like, okay, go away. Another guard comes up, go away. Another guard comes up, go away. And he keeps talking to me until I acknowledge the dialogue.
Yeah.
Personally, these mods that start these quests, what really should happen is you overhear it, and then you go talk to him. For example, when you start Felskar, you overhear this crazy guy talking to the guards, and no one... I encountered that.
Boethia says, you can say to Boethia, my soul is destined to for Sovngarde. I'll have no part of your vile desires. Let's see here. Hold on a second. I was hoping that I'd see the Shrine of Molag Bal, so I could do that one as well, because I'm looking at... Okay.
What the Molag Bal one?
The Molag Bal one's where you got to go get a priest, and like you got to go through the House of Horrors, and you have to kill the Stendar guy. I thought that whole thing was dumb.
Oh, I don't mind killing villagers. They're hypocrites.
The thing is that I wanted to have Vigilance as a actual faction where, you know, they attack you for using a Daedric relic, you know, and stuff like that. I mean,
they became the Dawn Guard.
Yeah.
And then they accept vampires afterwards too, so they're not consistent.
Yeah, the Dawn Guard shouldn't... I mean, I don't see why Serana wasn't killed on the spot or attacked on the spot, you know?
What should have happened is she shows up and you stop them from killing her.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I if you saw my What If Skyrim Was Good Dawnguard part, I explained how she would save Isran's life, and through that he would make an exception because she saved him, you know? And it's like, grumble, you know, I don't like this. I really don't like this, but damn it, you know, honor and all that. So.
What does the Molag Bal one do? Do you still get the rusted axe for relic hunting and stuff?
No, actually.
Because what I did for Boethia is I did the good guy mod and then uninstall it, so I get the armor. Because as soon as the relic hunter is converted, I'm going to download and install it. I basically have a whole chest of unique items.
I was going to say, with the Relic Hunter, as far as that goes, there is a mod, there's a plugin for it, and I forgot what the plugin's called, but it allows you to take data from your other save files. And, like, when you get a relic and you put it in the museum, if you go on a different character, it'll be there in the museum. And that's how you can do, like, you know, get Hersing's ring and the Savior side, you know? I can do...
Oh, no, with Hersing, you can get both.
Easily, I mean, you know.
No, it's pretty easy. You just go out, talk to the guy, run back in, kill the wolf, and you go back out and he gives you Hersing's hide, too.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you have to do. The hard one is the rueful axe and the mask.
Yeah.
You can only get one or the other.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that you can use that containers mod, and basically the rueful axe will be sitting there when you get the other one. And I thought that was neat.
Yeah, no, there's a mod that allows you to have universal storage. It's made by the same guy that did Familiar Faces.
Yeah. Familiar Faces is, you know, you have to have the same mods, basically. And my big problem with Skyrim, if any of you know, I have, like, 25 different mod loadouts for Skyrim. So, you know,
Well, what you do is you get a respec potion, you get all your perks back, you uninstall the mods, you create a vanilla or that overhauls type of mod, then you port it over with Familiar Faces.
Yeah, it's so weird that way. Oh, well.
Also, I would recommend removing a shitload of stuff, or you're going to have duplicates and stuff from that character, too.
Yeah. Let's see here.
I think the funniest part is you can marry your previous Dragonborn.
yeah, that is kind of hilarious. Let's see here. Yeah, Skyrim script extender, that's a good point. skse.silverlock.org.
It's going to have a March release, but it's only going to be limited functionality.
Yeah, they wrote it right here on the main page. But this guy has a video where he's just starting the getting the functions working on it. So that's really good. Other than that, there really isn't much else to say. You know, the script extender is the key to getting most of the good mods working. Unfortunately, again, you know, there will be a good chunk of mod authors who are like, well, you know, I've decided to develop specifically for BethesdaNet from now on, because that's where the console users can have it too. And
Graves, basically what happened was you play as a new Dragonborn, you port your old Dragonborn in as a follower, and they get a vanilla voice. Then you can do the Amulet of Mara and just do the generic quest.
Yeah.
That's basically what happened. It's basically game mechanics.
Yep, game mechanics.
Meant to be ironic. And if you want to satisfy some weird inside, marrying your alternate self, Bioshock Infinity bullshit.
You don't necessarily think of all your characters as a reflection of you, though. Like, that's something a lot of people don't get, is... I get this very often. You know, people are like, well, that's not immersive, like playing as this particular character. Like, I can't stand to play a character that does not represent my race and gender, and, you know.
Well, when I did in the classic Skyrim, instead of doing all the factions with the Dragonborn, I used alternate actors to take control of Lydia and made her the Harbinger.
Okay.
And then I used another Janessa, and she was the Listener. And I just made up some random thing, like the Pact with the Dragonborn allows them to draw on the Dragonborn's power, and that people can be mistaken for them being the Dragonborn.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. You know, there's, I'm trying to remember who,
Sagittarius, actually made a mod called the Dragonborn's Apprentice, or something here.
Really?
And allowed you to, give your follower shouts. People are strange.
Okay, Dragonborn's Apprentice.
No, here, I'll pull it up. It's not called that.
Let's see.
It's kind of buggy, though, because it never worked with Serrano when I tried to give her shouts.
Yeah. Dovahkiin and the Apprentice of the Thu'um?
Yep, that's it. Okay. Fun fact, I actually made a trailer for it, but I accidentally deleted it from my YouTube channel. Go to the videos.
Oh, shit. Okay, let's...
Go to the videos.
3 of them, yeah.
Let's see, a video from Athenzi.
Oh,
Completely deleted.
Sad.
That's me right there on Nexus.
Yeah, that's neat. I mean, that this mod exists, I mean. Yep. That is definitely...
Well, no, the concept of the trailer was the rule of two with a Sith but in Dragonborn. And you had to basically create your own faction because the Greybirds were prudes and the Blades were assholes.
Right. You called them the Greybirds again. So
I'm sorry,
is there any history behind... I mean, I'm thinking of the Sunbirds of Alinor, possibly. But are you thinking about the Thunderbirds, those puppet guys? Like, where are we getting the bird from? I mean...
I have a Minnesota accent.
Okay.
For example, cold. Cold.
Okay.
I'm not saying cold correctly. It's cold.
Okay.
It's cold out here. I'm saying cold.
Yeah, I barely notice it. But, yeah, the Greybirds...
If you go far up north, you'll notice it more.
I see. Okay, yeah, that's one thing people don't fucking understand about the United States. They because I deal with a lot of people from other countries. They think that the U.S. is just like one European-sized country. That's basically what they think about.
The individual states are individual countries, but we all work together.
Exactly. Each state is basically its own country, and as a result, you deal with people from Nevada. They are completely different from the people from California, completely different from the people from in Florida. Yeah. Looks like Bloodshank is a Minnesotan as well. Congratulations.
Hi, Bloodshank. Yeah, I live in southern Minnesota. I won't give the specific city, though.
Well, I can tell you Denver, Colorado for me.
Yeah, so. My city's a tad too small that I don't want to risk it.
I understand. You've got a nice tiny city where you've told me about some of the things that happened in your town. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One of the leaks for Diablo happened here.
Yep. Let's see here, but yeah, this is neat. So you can basically create an apprentice. That's cute.
Yeah, like I said, though, unfortunately, it doesn't work very well.
Yeah.
And it's really funny when they use the shout that Dervanir uses to kill someone, resurrect them on you. Literally, you die from your follower, and then right before it reloads the save, you see yourself being raised.
That is awful. that is completely awful. Just your soul gets ripped out. Who cares?
It's funny, but it's like really annoying too at the same time.
Yeah.
Another mod I use, Wet and Cold, of course, Campfire, Frostfall.
Mm-hmm.
I need when I eventually figure out how to do the stupid menu, so I don't have to eat everything.
No. I
got a new version.
The new version has the power that you just hit, and then bam, this comes up, and it's
classic Fallout 3 user manuals there. Because there was no MCM.
Yeah. But, it's funny because in New Vegas, they have an MCM mod. And as a part of Project Nevada, you get a full MCM built into it.
Yeah, but it's not the actual version. You have to download the actual MCM and override it for the other to work. It's kind of dumb.
It is kind of dumb, but it makes sense. If you don't have the MCM mod, you can still run it. And I think Project Nevada is worth it on its own, just because of the customizability. It's like the Sky Tweak of Fallout New Vegas, I would say.
I haven't tried that new HUD mod for Skyrim. That looks, or the Skyrim SC. It looks kind of promising.
Yeah, for now, I'm just gonna sit around with my old
ugly user.
Yeah, my old ugly Sky UI, that version 2.2.
Oh, I have that too.
Yeah.
I desperately want a quick menu.
Oh, yeah.
Categorize favorites is not what I want.
I was going to say, with the real quick menus of the SkyUI 5.0, you hit F1, you can switch gear. You hit F2, you can switch to spells. You can have that. Like, my F3 and 4 on my Relic Hunter are wear the Amulet of Talos, the Dragon Priest Amulet, or switch to the Alien Amulet, so I teleport to the, the Pocket Realm. And I really like that one.
Speaking of which...
Yeah?
the Illuvian teleport mod.
Oh, yes,
I'm
yes.
so happy that was made.
I understand.
Well, no, it's like I've played so much of Skyrim. I am so bored running back and forth between the dungeons to sell my shit. Well, now I just spawn my door, I head to my player home, I dump my ship, I go back on the adventure.
Yeah, I understand that. I really liked the concept of wagons in Daggerfall. The problem is that there's a wagons mod for Skyrim that looks like shit. It just literally, the physics go wonky and the thing goes.
There was another mod that Sagittarius
you
made that was somewhat like that, but the debuff kept bugging out. So basically, it was nuking my Magicka, where you summon a Daedric chest and then you just dump your shit on it once a day.
Yep.
But
okay,
like I said,
give me a second here. I'm gonna go AFK for just a minute and then we'll resume.
Okay, I'm actually gonna do that too. Be back in a moment.
Hello, there will be beeping in about 2 minutes. But you know what they say, early to rise, early to catch the worm. Or is it the bagel? I don't know. Look that quote up there. Figure out where that came from. Oh. Alright, so, as I was saying, awesome screenshot there. You got a dog. It was a Doge that you got.
Yep.
Alright, so you need to... Where does this quote come from? Early to rise, early to get the worm. Or is it the bagel?
My brain hurts.
Alright, looks like Doom Raider got it.
Someone wants to go back to her bed.
It's Luigi from the Super Mario World cartoon show.
I never watched it.
It wasn't good.
I vaguely remember the Sonic one. Both Sonic ones. The one where they were in space.
Sonic had a good one, and then it had several bad ones.
Yeah, I like the one where they were in space and in the spaceship, and then Sonic with Super Saiyan, they had a giant cannon where he shoots out of it.
No, there's an earlier one. There's a couple.
With the PSAs.
No, that's the bad one.
Yep.
That's no. You have to understand. There's multiple ones. Like, the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. Okay.
Yep.
This is the one that's bad. Like right here, you can see this is the one that had Robotnik going snooping as usual. I see, and that became a meme. Like this is the Robotnik of the bad.
I remember the episode where Robotnik tries to get Tails to go because he found his adopted parents, but they don't call him Miles; they call him Tails, and Sonic catches on.
Yep.
Was that actually part of the canon, or was that part of the cartoon?
Miles, Tails, Prowler or something like that. It was in the background of Sonic 2 when you were running around the casino area.
Do you remember Sonic 3D?
Let's see. Barely.
Yeah, it was like one of my first Sonic games, and I could barely get past it because I didn't understand what I was doing.
Yep. All right, so right here we've got this one. This is the good one. Okay, this is there are several ones, and this is the one that was done well because it was a progressive story and it wasn't too anime. Jim Cummings did the voice of Robotnik, the guy who did In the Dark of the Night from Anastasia. So he sounds pretty damn awesome, actually. But yeah, this is the, this was the, basically...
And, roboticized something.
Yes, exactly. He turned people into robots. Which is...
For some reason.
Yeah. But in my opinion, this was the only good...
No, that was his romance option for Amy.
It was, let's go... it was Best of Robotnik. I think it was this right here. Yeah.
Is done. It's showtime.
Good morning, Dr. Robotnik. Exciting trip.
Shut up, Snively.
Just shut up, Snively.
You and the power rings will be right in the palm of my hand.
Well, good thing they didn't do a live action and have the two
Yeah.
sidekicks compare their junk. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Michael Bay. Given that I can't actually hear the audio.
Isn't it marvelous?
Yeah. Alright, so, that Doge is still doing there. Looks rather edgy. That's the point. He's always, pretty much, how do I put this? His voice sounds like he's orgasming every time he talks. Like, and that is, yeah.
And that was before they, lost the name Robotnik for some reason.
Oh, no. They always had Eggman as the, official Japanese name. It was kind of like Princess Peach.
Why'd they retcon it then?
They just decided to all of a sudden. Like Princess Toadstool was what she was called in the United States up until a certain point. Then she suddenly became Princess Peach.
He's still Robotnik to me.
Yeah, well, actually, it was Robotnik.
I understand the Shazam Captain Marvel stuff for DC because
but you've got Robotnik and Eggman from Sonic Generations.
Oh, like they actually acknowledge this?
Yeah. But in Sonic it's like Eggman, but how? He had a little help. Dr. Robotnik.
Nobody calls me that.
Nobody calls me that anymore.
You would be so kind as to explain.
You see?
Gentleman genius Dr. Eggman from the future.
Yeah, exactly. Would you care to explain Eggman from the future? Exactly.
What does he actually say?
No, he just goes like he explains his evil plan. He doesn't actually explain that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, another mob that I have is people are strangers because why do I know this guy's name before I talk to him? It also helps when you install mods, quest mods, or new lands mods. It tells you who you haven't talked to yet.
You know what they really need? Real names. Jackson stopped making Skyrim mods, and that's sad because Jackson's real names. Like, this, I love this mod because, like, you look at the sickly
farmer. Did that mod
farmer.
have issue with scripting and overhauling the game properly?
I didn't see any problems with it for the most part, but
I have always avoided it because it was so script heavy.
Yeah. I don't know. I really liked it because every time you talk to somebody, like a Whiterun guard or whoever, they got a name. And I thought that was neat. Except I remember the Ebony Warrior ended up getting an extra name or something. Like, it was really weird. Like, some people who had names would get an extra name. So it's like their name and then their name. And that happened every once in a while. But then I just used the bottom name and it's like, okay, whatever.
Okay, yeah. You like this mod too, don't you? Or People Are Strangers?
Yes. I think that People Are Strangers and Jackson's real names work perfectly together because you didn't actually know their name until you talked to them. So it just said, instead of Whiterun Guard, it said Nord. Because if you go down and under Files, they specifically added...
Guard would actually make sense.
Yeah, a Whiterun Guard would make sense. But what I'm saying is like Bosmer right here. You can see that. They actually... Yeah, I was going to say, they added a races plugin. Like but they just released it for the special edition as well. So yeah, it's kind of neat.
I just use the Stranger. It's simpler.
Yeah,
I actually support Sagittarius on Patreon because
okay.
I've used so many of his mods, and I have enjoyed it. He needs more support in that direction.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay, hold border banners for Skyrim because it's not really clear what parts of Skyrim, for example, what's Riften, what's Run, and what's Valkyrie.
Okay.
I always thought Hogan was in the Rift.
Yeah. Well, it definitely is, and it's in Falkreath. But it is interesting the way these hold borders are. There was another mod, Border Sense, and Border Sense for the original. This did not get ported to the special edition, by the way.
I have a similar mod that just adds border things to the map.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't like mods that add extra powers though that you have to go through menus to add it on. It's like, okay, map, where am I? Okay.
Even in the dark, I'm sure I'm in Whiterun Hold now. But yeah, the banners just literally add something for you to recognize. Like this is the change there.
My favorite Jarl is actually the Falkreath one because he doesn't give a shit.
Yep. Alright, someone asked, do I use AdBlock for the Nexus? And the answer is yes, and there's a reason for it. I have an alternate browser. Like, my main browser doesn't use AdBlock, but my my streaming browser does. You'll see that, like, look at this window over here. You see the way it says Zarek? Zarek is my main browser. But I've got a browser that I use for streaming called Person 1. Person 1 is specifically blocks everything because if I play, like, Nexus has a tendency, or at least in the past had a tendency to play sounds.
Yep.
And I don't want to have a window open and suddenly audio plays. You know, that is detrimental to a live stream. So my live streaming browser is specifically, it blocks everything.
Well, even to navigate the internet, you need AdBlock because basic web browsers just freeze up with all the images.
Look at this one. This particular blocker, I use a lot of whitelisting. You know, I actually had AdBlock. I need to turn this one off completely, but I was using whitelisting for my main browser.
I undo AdBlock from the websites that have earned my trust or I appreciate.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't AdBlock YouTube on my main browser, but on my streaming browser I do.
Yeah.
And that's based entirely...
I just turn it on and off.
Yeah. It's mainly just a case of, when I'm watching things on my own, I'm not streaming, I can definitely sit through an advertisement, but when I'm streaming it, I want to get right to the frickin' point, and I especially don't want the Nexus playing an advertisement in the background. That's an audio advertisement.
Audio ads are horrible. They should not exist.
Yeah, audio playing ads, they
autoplay.
Yeah, that autoplay, exactly. The ads that autoplay audio just I refuse to have ads enabled on those sites for that reason.
Here's the thing about AdBlock.
Yeah.
Why should I suffer with my basic Internet Explorer to use your website if you're just going to spam ads all in the first place? That's the very reason AdBlock came to existence in the first place.
Exactly.
You guys are stupid.
Yeah. I appreciate it when people don't AdBlock my YouTube channel, but, if they want to, they can. And I definitely block other people's YouTube channels when I'm streaming because otherwise...
sometimes on YouTube when it's like...
unskippable advertisements. And so you sit through an unskippable... Yeah, a 2-minute unskippable advertisement when you're trying to show off something. When you pause your game, you go to a freaking YouTube video, and there's a 2-minute unskippable advertisement, and you're like, come on, I want to show off something. I want, it's like, I don't want that advertisement playing in the background while I go back to the game. I want to just be there now and there,
Ones that I don't like are when there's like, it's a gameplay video and there's like, every 5 minutes there's an ad.
Yeah.
Make it every 10 minutes or every 15. Or even make it banner ads.
Banner ads are kind of weird.
They're annoying, but they're less obtrusive than auto-playing video. Jeez, when I listened to Let's Plays when I fell asleep while I was in college, I don't do it now.
Yeah.
I woke up in the middle of the night and this comedy sketch that was an hour-long ad pops on, blaring. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. No, I just got to say that pretty much if the Nexus removed all of its audio playing ads.
They got a new ad provider, but don't trust it.
I
eventually will just get a membership and do it that way. But
you know, I understand the concept of getting a membership, and I really do, but at the same time...
Don't have obnoxious ads.
Don't have obnoxious ads, yeah. I'm...
Either that or strip out that picture in the background, because for people that are not savvy with the internet, that would really take forever to load.
Yeah. You know, people who have low quality internet, it would take forever to load. But
I got this Windows Surface 2 because someone damaged it, and I said, "This is a decent tablet. I'll just get the screen fixed." Well, I tried to use the Internet Explorer. I can't even look up a basic Wikipedia page.
Yeah. I mean, a Wikipedia page on my phone here. My phone's great at browsing the web. It's got a quad-core processor in it. It's a ridiculous fucking little device. And you know what? Despite that, Wikipedia specifically, or Wikia, I should say. Wikia. There we go.
Wikia.
Yeah, Wikia. It slows down. It really slows down. And it will go to full screen advertisements, and then it'll do pop-ups. And it'll tell me bullshit like, oh, your, what do you call it? Your Android device is infected. You know, I can block those sites after I get to them once, but if ever you have a site that links you to your phone is infected with this many viruses, click here to clean. You're not a legitimate website, Wikia. You're bullshit. And thus the middle finger is extended to you. And
ad block is put on for all your sites, even though you have decent content.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. You know, when you get scam ads, that's it. I can't support you anymore. If they did it legitimately, like, okay, so someone told them you got scam ads. Oh my goodness. Someone just donated, and apparently it is Speedy Gun. Thank you for your $5 donation. Unfortunately, this weird streaming UI is hiding your notification, but Speedy Gun, your $5 donation is appreciated. Anyway, if someone tells you, hey, your ad provider is putting spam ads on us, you know, like, can you please stop it, you know, get rid of these, whatever, porn advertisements, or, you know, whatever your provider is. They're scamming us, basically. And, Wikia doesn't care. And not that I've seen.
They don't.
You know,
we're numbers to them.
Yeah. So...
Well, if we're numbers to you, then we're going to ad block you to oblivion. You're going to lose money.
Yep.
So... Another, getting back to mods, we keep getting off topic. Notice boards, it's an okay mod. It's better than going in and talking to the stupid innkeeper. It's actually inspired by Witcher, because Witcher has notice boards in it.
Yeah. I was going to say, the best thing about the notice boards
I really hope Beyond Skyrim incorporates this mod.
Yeah. I would say, in my opinion, my favorite part of the notice board is these NPCs that come up to the front of them, and it's like, you can do a quest with them. I actually made the mistake of following one time, and then it got insta-killed by a giant. But if they had followed me, I would have gone directly to the target. I think that's cool still, you know?
Yeah, but it's just a nice addition if you want to do something that takes you to a new location you haven't discovered. It's a fun little addition. But if you accidentally click on something like, bring me all 4 pieces of Elven Harbor, you have to complete it or it's going to be stuck in your stupid...
You see, I don't mind, I really don't mind that kind of thing, because I like Radiant quests that take place in storyline areas.
Yep.
So, for example, if I'm on my way to do this storyline quest, I will do these 4 Radiant quests along the way and enjoy the crap out of them. I, may have a quest sit in my log for a year because I don't feel like going out of my way for it, but then all of a sudden a storyline quest sends me there, and so I'm like, off I go, do all the quests. And I think that's how I've always approached the Radiant questing system, personally, is I don't go out and seek out that particular Radiant quest. It's filler content that I'm absolutely fine doing because I enjoy the game mechanics, the mechanics on which the game is based.
Yep, after you, Nella told me to find the exact same staff in another location, she's like, yep, bye.
Yeah, exactly. Nella
it's not as obtrusive as, a settlement is under attack, please go defend it even though you're the general of our army.
Yeah,
we can't do shit.
Wait a second, don't we have soldiers there to defend it? No, these are settlers.
Turrets I paid for.
Yes, I was gonna say, my Red Rocket Fortress has 500 defense value, and it should be able to handle anything, but oh no, stuff is damaged because you didn't go there.
I download mods that I completely ignore it, I don't give a shit, or I just download mods that completely turn off all that bullshit.
Yeah, but as far as Skyrim goes, yeah, I can see why the notice board would be fun. And the fact that it does add mercenaries that you can do quests with. And I think that's cool.
Another one, interesting NPCs, that's just an essential one. I haven't played through all the quests either. It's fun to actually run into those NPCs in a location you've explored a billion times.
3dnpc.com.
There's one for Fallout 4 too that's more limited, but it's better than nothing.
So, load disorder, that's interesting. Okay, mod school. Okay, so there's all kinds of stuff going on their page.
He runs I don't know, does he actually, is that an actual business blog, or is it just, hey, this is a blog?
I think this is a blog, but, you got, okay, so the main things we've got are the Skyrim regular. We got the Skyrim SSE Alpha, which I don't want to use until I get compatibility with Amazing Follower Tweaks. There's the Fallout 3 bundle, the New Vegas bundle.
Amazing Follower Tweaks actually ignores it unless you force it. It did with Thrawn.
Amazing Follower Tweaks can break horribly, with some of the followers and make them so they never stop following you. It's kind of weird. Hopefully it'll ignore them now. Either way. I was thinking back to an older version. We got Fallout 4, Atomic Radio, and Tales from the Commonwealth. These are pretty damn good mods.
Yeah, I'm going to have to look through those when I start rebuilding my Fallout 4 profile.
Yeah, they're by the...
We never did the story thing. We got interrupted when we were talking about Nora.
Yeah, well, what did you have in mind for that, for a Fallout 4 thing?
Okay, well, basically, for Fallout 4, my idea was you're the silent protagonist. You could choose any alternate origin. They should have done this with Fallout 4 and just add a companion that expands it. You can completely ignore it except for those exclusive times where you discover Kellogg or the getting into the Institute. You have to take the wife or the spouse with you, or the main character if they just die altogether. And then that can have the emotional effect. And all those plot inconsistencies, like how is this possible, are out the window because it's not your character, it's Bethesda's character. So you could still think the character's a moron, but it's not you.
Yeah.
And what's unfortunate is there are hints of this in Oblivion and in the Dawnguard DLC with Serana.
In Oblivion, you are literally the go-to guy for Martin Septim. Martin Septim is the hero, not you.
Yeah, that's what's unfortunate. Is you went and got a voice-acted PC because you want to tell a more compelling story. Well, you already have a skeleton from your previous games you could have built upon.
Yep. It's true. It's absolutely
One
true.
that I really like for Fallout 3 is called Ties That Bond, that adds a sister. Of course, the dialogue is limited, but there's situations like you see her run up to James when he's dying. He's like, she's yelling at you, do something, and you have dialogue, I can't do anything, he's dead. Or when you run into her at the VR place, he says, hi, Dad, even though he completely ignores her and runs to you to talk. And then there's a situation where you find James is body in the Enclave base, and you have a funeral for him.
Yeah, yeah. No, it definitely expands the storyline, which is interesting. No, what I thought was, going back to Oblivion for a second, like, there is so much dialogue Martin Septim has that most players will never hear because they just, like, rush through the main quest.
Not many
It's
could resist
very
the
interesting.
temptation of the Ogma Infinium. Now, it
Enough
is
to
my
actually
turn
make a
to be
follower
put to
out
the
of it?
test.
You definitely could. I mean, they definitely worked Sean Bean. They definitely did. You know,
His characters always die.
His characters always die. Yes, they do. Yes, they
Except for National Treasure. He does not die in that one. He gets arrested.
do. Okay, let's see here.
Okay, any more on Fallout 4, or...
The wife just bought shoes. Like, Amazon noticed, like...
Okay. I actually have to get more shoes this week because I only have, like, one pair that fit.
Yeah, it's just, you know, when I'm in here and, you know, I look at this pop-up notification, I'm like, I'm tempted to just go over and say, like, you bought shoes, didn't you? You know, it's funny. But yeah.
Hey, automated systems are funny. When I was prepping for the video with the Japanese candy, I accidentally streamed me prepping for it, so you're seeing me listening to Philip DeFranco and brushing my hair. Is like, okay, that's getting deleted.
Yay!
I'm just so glad I was proper when I accidentally hit that button.
Yeah. I mean, there was a scandal about Darkside Phil, DSP, you know, masturbating on camera. And then...
Okay, I'm thinking of another World of Warcraft.
No.
In a different situation.
No, he apparently was, like, masturbating, and, you know, he, that was something, apparently. And then...
There really should be, like, are you sure you want to stream prompt?
Yeah, I understand that. There's also... Oh, it's up to the software creators. But, yeah, I forgot what the other one was. Oh, yeah, Review Tech USA talked about how he had a friend figure out that, he was recording a video, and while he was recording that video, it turned out he was actually streaming his recording, you know? And so, people were like, what? And yeah.
Yeah, it was just awkward. You actually listened to the video.
Yep.
Because of the topic you posted, like, you actually heard it because of what you posted on Twitter.
Yeah. Oh, I posted in a private message, though.
Yeah.
Yep. But, let's see here. I mean, Extensive Follower Framework is, one of my favorite, mods. And yes, it, if you use the Force Recruit, it can bug out other mods. It's true. Depending on how
Fortunately, I only take one follower with me at this point.
Yeah.
I actually summon an army of Atronachs to help me when I get, like, slammed with a... Okay, did you ever play Rigmar Bruma?
No, not myself. I've seen it.
Yeah. It's a bit long, and it kind of forces you down this quest. You have to follow the quest path to get these specific scenes. The biggest pet peeve I have with it, though, the way she does enemies. It's literally a bowl, and she drops like 100 enemies on you, and it's like, I'm level 20. How am I supposed to take these things out?
Yeah, that's interesting.
So I just go God mode and use Dragon Shouts until they're all dead.
Yeah.
It's also another reason why I never finished the mod. I only played through the first third. So, Organized Bandits of Skyrim, this is both on our list. My basic explanation is I install it after the main quest.
Okay.
My explanation is because it's the Batman effect. You became so others come up to challenge you.
Yeah.
So all these bandit clans are going. And also because my character is based off the Arrow, too.
Ah, yes. You gotta fight crime.
Yep, and I have my own... I use another mod that allows me to keep my followers in one place. And it's either, depending on whether he's a evil character or a morally good, It's either the Cult of the Dragonborn or Team Dragonborn.
Huh. Interesting.
So he either has thralls or just people that follow him. My guys
I'm just thinking
more like good.
No, okay, so I never built a mod around, let's see, around a werewolf character. You mean a mod loadout? Because there's 2 werewolf mods you use, and you use them together, and you have a werewolf. But,
I prefer werebear.
Obviously, we all prefer werebear. We prefer werebears and wereboars over werewolves, just because, you know.
Werewolves are boring.
Werewolves are overused. I mean, do you remember Freakazoid at all? Have you ever seen that show?
Guy with a black hair, red jumpsuit with the lightning.
Yeah.
He got it from typing on the computer, I think.
Yeah. He got dumped into the internet and gained superpowers, but no, there was a really good episode in which he there was a werewolf, and it was like literally the Wolfman. So they did the classic scene where he sat in the chair, and you know, they changed the makeup on him. You know, they just phased it in, just like the original Wolfman movie. And anyway, he like, I'm going to dump you into the internet, and it should cure you, or maybe not. Who cares? You know, like stuff like that. It's
what happened?
He got cured, but it screwed him up a bit, you know. And that's
better to be a little screwed up than blood guy, guy that's out for blood.
No, the best show of that time. You have to understand, Freakazoid had all these sub shows that would go on for 3 or 5 minutes, as well. One of them was called The Huntsman, and it goes, Hunt, 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 it's the Huntsman! And you can see he's Green Arrow. Like, literally, his appearance is Green Arrow, okay? And, you know, it was like, old Barty Phoebe was a poor hunter, hungry without goal, then he saved a chunky elf from being eaten by a crow. And they did this whole song about how he is the huntsman was reborn. And then they go into a scene where, no, you beat all the bad guys. The city is safe. And he's like, are you sure? There's nothing for me to do? Yeah, all the bad guys, they left town. Like, they're here anymore. Like, they realized that you were just imprisoning everybody, so, you know, they left. Like, you mean there's no purse stealers? No, that they all left to the nearby cities. You'll have to go somewhere else.
In other words, they don't want them there.
Yeah, exactly.
That would actually be a fun Skyrim mod. Like, they try to kick you out because you accidentally hit someone while fighting a vampire.
Yep.
It's like, go away.
Yeah.
Even a quest mod. So, a mod that I use to counter organized bandits of Skyrim is actually the immersive patrols. I originally did not like it because it had, like, Dawn Guard everywhere, and then random adventurers. Like, there were too many for the size of the world. But after I completed Dawn Guard, I was like, that makes sense. And I also downloaded a mod that puts Dawn Guard in the main city holds, too, like 2 of them. So they're watching it out, and I don't have to go kill the random Dawn Guard that's trying to enslave the Jarl.
Yeah.
The random vampire. I'm my own subset of the Dawn Guard. I'm a specialist.
I'm just thinking about Skingrad and the Count Yanis Hasseldor, the vampire. Okay.
Like I said, immersive patrols. Another one is cutting room floor. Basically what Bethesda should have added at the bare minimum to the special edition. Just take your cut content and put it in there. That's all you have to do.
The question is, why was it cut? And
because they didn't have time. They ran out of time. It was unfinished.
Unfinished, yeah.
For example, just think Uthgrad talk with the chick or the horse guy in front of Whiterun and directs you to Cicerau.
Yeah.
Just small things like that. Add in the newspaper guy.
Well, the reason they don't do that is because they want you to go into Whiterun in the beginning. It was a misdirection. Like, that... Remember that
people have already played the main quest in the normal Skyrim.
Yes, but what I'm trying to tell you is that the reason that was cut is because there's a game concept known as conveyance, where, like, you are being conveyed from from Helgen to Riverwood to Whiterun to the Jarl Balgruuf. You know, and you're being funneled that way, more or less.
Yes, but people have already played the game. This is a re-release, a remaster. You can tweak your game design at this point.
That's just it. They're not going to do that because, number one, that isn't Bethesda Game Studios. It's the little branch there.
They just say, "Hey, can we add this in?" Okay,
yeah,
we don't care. You'll make us money.
Yeah, they're again, like
they don't really need to decide canon.
They really weren't going to do it.
It won't matter in the next game. Who cares that you went and talked with Cicero at the beginning?
Take a look at spell research. Have you looked at spell research?
Not yet. I am playing a mage character. I also want to look at the way of the voice too.
Yeah, I could understand that. So,
I've gotten to the point with the shouts mod. I've downloaded a few tweak ones too. I actually feel like a Dragonborn instead of having to deal with that stupid time wound. I've downloaded a mod that allows me to summon Durnavir as a spell instead, so I don't have to deal with that. The Call of Valor has been tweaked down, and now it summons all three, and instead of a ghost form, they're having the shimmering effect from Sovngarde.
Yeah.
I do prefer that they only summon one, but it summons all three, apparently. So I might say something to the author.
Yeah, exactly. Not everyone who played the SC played the original, and that's the main line of thinking, is that they're trying to recruit a whole new base of people from the new generations of consoles, because you have to understand something, that all the people who played the game before are going to recommend to their friends, yeah, there's a special edition, it has all the DLCs built in, just get that and go. Yeah, on your...
So it's a small little distraction.
Exactly. They
don't even have to go there. They don't. I barely noticed it until they added a quest marker.
Yeah.
You don't need to add a quest marker. It's just something you walk by and you overhear.
Yeah.
Instead of obnoxiously walking up to you and giving you the quest. I.e., the Dawnguard guy.
Yep. It is really bad.
I love the guards talk about them saying the Dawnguard are reforming near Riften.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds like something I might want to check out. Instead of some guy obnoxiously says, "Want to join the Dawnguard because there's no vampire attacks yet?"
Yep. Well, I personally think that both are obnoxious. Did you see my video where Hemisker bit the Dawnguard guy? Yeah, it was funny. Yeah, well,
whenever I've used Better Vampires, the AI never acts like a vampire. I actually, one time, I turned the whole town of Riften into vampires.
That's bad. That is so bad.
And then I got bored and I turned the bow back into humans.
Ah, yes. I remember that. I know. I just think that, personally, the whole concept of having an NPC walk up to you and try to, initiate, oh, are you going to join the Dawnguard? I think that's stupid. Unless you have enough fame. And then that's when we need to bring the fame stat back into this.
Or if you complete a certain quest in the game.
Yeah, I mean, if you completed the main quest, like, excuse me, you're the guy who slayed Alduin, right? And it's like, no. You just answer no. And it's like, okay, my bad. And then walk away. But if you said yes, they're like, well, there's a vampire menace growing, and we believe that you could help us, blah, blah, blah. But again,
they actually did that right for Dragonborn.
Yeah,
you had to play the way of the voice.
You had to do the way of the voice in order to...
It's still annoying, but...
It's still annoying because when Mirak appears, all will bear witness, and then I kill them, and then I don't go to Solstheim, so then another pack comes. Whoops, sorry about that. Another pack comes and just continues the whole bullshit over and over and over.
And they also show up on the island, too.
Yeah, they do.
They should not show up on the island. What should have happened is, you go to the island, you see this rock, and you touch it, then the main quest starts, because you're talking to Neloth.
Yeah.
I love Neloth.
Yep.
He's such an asshole. But he actually oh, you did do something for me. Here's some gold.
Yeah, yeah. No, I remember that ridiculous line he goes, you know, where is that useless steward? Verona, I mean, drove us, you know. Oh, wait, she's dead. You know, like, she doesn't really matter, you know.
Noah at least understands is like, you don't expect something for nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
But he does like being pandered to, like, yes, my lord.
Yep.
Even though he understands
At least
the agreement.
someone around here knows what I'm worth, you know.
You're just rubbing his ego, that's all.
Yeah, exactly.
You're humoring him.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And there's actually dialogue like, I'm not your servant either. He's like,
Yeah.
get the picture, just do what I say and I'll pay you.
Yep, yep. Exactly.
Well, from what you've recommended, I actually downloaded better dialogue and message controls.
Mm-hmm.
For that, so I actually use
Yeah.
the keyboard now.
Exactly. It's so
this one-
convenient to just be able to press up or down and then hit enter, you know?
Now, this one's a personal pet peeve from mine. This is something Fallout 4 did correctly. No enemies on the compass.
Uh-huh. Okay, well,
So I don't know where the enemies are. I actually have to listen or use Oral Whisper.
yeah, that makes sense. No, Fallout 4 did it based on your perception skill.
Yep.
Or your
But I barely
stats.
use perception.
Yeah, I'm at a point right now where I have all the stats at over 10. So it's like, okay, I do everything now. This is, yeah.
Another one I have... Yeah, go ahead.
I'm level, like, 215. It's like, okay, I'm going to collect all the magazines in the game now. Just because I can.
Another mod I have, this is something else Fallout 4 actually tweaked with the survival mode. iCompass. It removes all the locations from your compass.
Oh, you mean... Oh, wait, removes the locations?
You know, you see, there's a city up ahead.
Yeah.
How do I know it's there? I've never been here before.
Yeah,
And now I've discovered it. Now I have to look around and it's like, oh, on Murphstoop, there's a fort up there. I should check that out.
Yeah.
And it's like, you've discovered a location.
Yeah.
Such a subtle thing.
Yeah,
Such a subtle
definitely.
thing. It makes the game feel more because I'm just running around looking at stuff.
Yeah. I absolutely understand that. I remember that... I think one of my favorite mods was actually Immersive HUD, where it actually hit the compass unless I held X. And
I actually like having the compass up.
you see, I like having the compass hidden unless, like, holy crap, where am I? So I hit X, and then, oh, I need to go north, you know? And to me, that simulates me looking down at a compass, you know what I'm saying?
One step further that I wish would be modded in, you know the compass from Jack Sparrow in Pirates of the Caribbean that
yes.
points you towards your desire? Basically, that works as the clairvoyant spell.
Remove quest markers and have that instead. Like, it points you to your quest marker.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it works like the clairvoyant spell. It's animated.
Yeah.
Metro 2033 had that.
Okay.
I really want to pitch that to a mod maker and see if they can make it.
Yeah, that'd be okay.
I don't like the clairvoyant spell.
No, the clairvoyant spell it literally spawns
using nav meshing.
Yeah, it's the NPC using the nav mesh, which is just amazingly weird, I gotta say. You know, it's just...
It would have been better. It's like, go northwest, or go left, or go right.
Yeah.
And the message pop out every time you cast it. It's like, okay, you have too many points of interest. Please select one.
Yeah. Something like that. I just watch the compass go around in circles.
Another one I have is a relationship dialogue overhaul. Either that or the other mod that expands the vanilla followers, except the other one, they don't shut up most of the time. And two, they talk about stuff that isn't even relevant.
Relationship
this
dialogue.
one's a big difference, but they haven't been talking recently, so I think something might be interfering with it.
Yeah, they talk a lot. Like, that's... Like, change relationship rank with Heimesker. Heimesker is now a potential follower.
Thanks. I think
Thanks.
it might be because Armorous Adventure overrides the dialogue, so the
Yep.
followers I have aren't being affected by it.
Yep. Lydia says, of course, sir. As opposed to...
I'll do what you say. I'm so depressed.
I'm sworn to carry your burdens.
As soon as I download these mods, Lydia's far more pleasant to run around with, and you also discover a few interesting things. For example, she has hidden dialogue on Solstein.
Mm-hmm. Now, what was it? No, I'm just remembering. What NPC was it that? Yes, Mike goes. I will shoulder your burden. You know, like.
He actually says that.
Yeah, Mike the Liar has his own dialogue as a follower. You know, Khajiit guards your back, and like if they come that's
because there's other Khajiits.
Yeah, of course. But you know, if someone tries to sneak up on us, I will smell them coming, or perhaps I won't.
Well, that's Kizargo and Kajo too.
Yep.
Kizargo
does that. Okay.
Yep.
Well, either way, Mike works as a follower, and it just I will shoulder your burden.
I prefer just to run into Mike and talk to him for a little bit and then run off. It's funnier that way.
Coscorn, thank you for your $15 donation. It's appreciated. I don't have the display up right now because the weird streaming UI with this guy over here is interfering with it. I will fix it in the future. But again, Coscorn, thank you very much. It's appreciated. And yeah, so real quick before we get back to it, I was going to mention that like you look at do you remember those Lydia revoice mods? There's like a really bad one.
The slutty one.
Yeah, that one was just like, okay, you certainly enjoyed making that one a little too much, you know? Holy fuck.
If you like that stuff, you like that stuff.
Yeah, that.
I just prefer someone that doesn't keep constantly talk about hippos.
Hippos?
Storyteller. Companion mod. He kept talking about stupid hippos.
Yes.
I installed them.
Wait, was he put into Fallout 4?
Not yet.
Not yet.
What I'm hoping is they just basically take the series they wrote and allow you play through it.
Yeah, thank you.
Quest. And like it's obviously an alternate reality because if the New Vegas companion mod was canon, it's like, aren't you supposed to be on the East Coast right now?
Yeah, exactly.
Because it happens before the New Vegas main quest. The story does, or they're very vague about it. It's like either that or post it.
Yeah, it never made sense how you. I don't know. I like Fallout 1 and 2 story more, but I would kill to have those stories done within an open world action game as opposed.
What they need to do is they need to do Dragon Age Inquisition type thing, or like you have certain areas to explore, and they could do it in Fallout 4's game engine.
Yeah. I mean, you can definitely portal between multiple world spaces, but that might maybe get difficult in order, like, I don't know, it would change up the tone of the game radically.
No, it wouldn't be modern Fallout 4. It would be a stylized retelling of Fallout 3 and 2.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have an actual open world. You would have corridors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or an open space to explore.
I just remember that Fallout 2, you had the car, and it would be interesting to see how that worked.
New Vegas, I always download the car mod.
Yeah, but then you realize how tiny.
Small the world is.
Yeah, which it's smaller than Fallout 3, which is very tiny.
But it's more fleshed out. But it's only one-off encounters. After that, it's empty. So you need to download mods like New Vegas Bounties to compensate to go back to those areas.
Yeah.
Okay, going on to more mods in my list, or did you have any highlights?
Keep going.
Immersive character overhaul that just makes the NPCs look nice. No NPC greetings because I want to download mods that make me feel less center of the world. Yeah.
NPC. I mean, as you walk by, an NPC shouldn't just start talking to you randomly. You know.
Even when I walk into my player home, suddenly all my companions start looking at me like I'm this sexy beast.
You're the center of existence. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, what I was looking at. Have you ever heard of a mod called Everyone is Different?
No.
They're not going to get Skyproc patchers working quite yet, or at all, perhaps. But this basically patched. I created a Skyproc patch based on a set of parameters you made, and it changes everyone's heights, weights, hairstyles, and everything. You know, to where everyone looks different, and you know, based on their race, it would actually say, you know, oh, you're a Red Guard, maybe you should have darker skin. You know, you're a Nord, maybe you should have less dark skin, you know?
I don't need something that invasive, but just anything that decentralizes the game I enjoy.
Yeah. I just remember that in particular as something that I tried to use, and it didn't quite work out because it changed all the content, and then, you know, when you have other mods that change all the content, they tend to not like each other very much.
I avoid mods that do stuff like Skyproc patcher. That's why I stopped using Overhaul, because every time I installed a simple clothing mod, I had to rerun the proctor.
Yeah, I don't actually mind Skyproc patchers as a concept. The problem is that when you start getting into, you know, TES5 edits and stuff like that, when you start doing all kinds of other stuff, it just really gets in the way. It just does. Let's yeah. Okay.
Next one. Well, I have Felskar and Beyond Reach down here, but I haven't played them on my current one. I've played through part of Helgen Reborn, but I encountered constant crashing after you got caught by the guy when you take the base or something later in the game.
I noticed that Serana has a tendency to conflict with third-party quest mods and stuff like that, and cause massive crashing in them. That's something.
Well, the funny thing is, I encountered constant crashing when I went to Winterhold, and this area was in a snowy area too. So I'm guessing there was a weather effect that was crashing, or constant scripts.
Yeah, that would make
going
sense.
On.
Do you have True Storms?
I have Vivid Weathers installed, but this is after I encountered Winterhold. I was avoiding horrible graphical interfaces because I didn't want to push Skyrim too much, and I was basically just testing the game, so if I ever want to do an immersive playthrough, I didn't have to.
I understand that. Now, I was going to just say, my Skyrim, very much, I haven't had the opportunity to really modify the special edition to my standards, and that's mainly because we're waiting on the script extender. So
I've noticed that it's still pretty high FPS, even with EMBs and stuff.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I mean,
I enjoy that.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you have the PC to support it, the special edition's going to work. If you don't, then you're going to notice it real quick. Like, if your game barely got along with the regular edition, special edition ain't going to work well for you. But what I was going to say is I played this vampire playthrough most recently, and I'm going to continue it a little more, just because it's fun. It's a mixture of sacrosanct and better vampires. It's abiding by certain rules, such as I have to use Mortal's Mask.
I don't enjoy going into those menus too often, though.
Yeah.
I know as you go into a lot of menus.
Yeah, I do menus all the time. It's basically, you know, to control my character, my skills and spells and whatnot. Like, I would be in my menus a lot less if we had access to the, you know, F1 through F8 keys, you know, for this, again, the script extender. But the reality is right now I can't use the SkyUI 5.0 bind keys, you know. So that's another chunk of items, you know, and stuff I can't do. Also, big problem is when you're using a vampire and you have multiple phases, you actually lose access to certain skills based on your
and you lose your hotkeys too.
You lose your hotkeys when that happens. Yes, it's really bad. I'd rather that you keep the skills on the bar but just have them fail to work. You know, that would make it work instead of removing them outright.
When modders make these mods, they need to compensate for certain weaknesses, but that is the point of the systems.
Exactly.
That's
yeah. I was gonna say, why don't you round off the 2 or 3 more, and then we'll take a break.
Okay. Next one's Undeath, mostly because I like the Lich transformation. I've basically retconned my character after Zarek pointed out a horrible flaw in my logic. I'm making it more of like when you get the final Dragon Priest mask, my character was told like when you get this last mask, you get a true power. Unfortunately, Daedra and Aedra can warp reality, and it made it an unintentional curse. And then you basically become immortal via a Lich, even though you were supposed to become a Lich the first time. The side effect, though, is instead of dying and going back to the phylactery, I reload a save. So basically, your character can never die. So that gives time manipulation.
Yeah, exactly. You know, miniature little dragon breaks, because why the fuck not?
Yeah.
You know,
here's the kicker. If I kill a companion, that companion's dead. So he will see people die around him, and there's nothing he can do about it. Even if he tries to kill himself after that person does to try and reset it, he will just go literally right after their deaths.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
So the curse is seeing those you care about look past you, and those that help you support you, the fight of Maris Mora will no longer exist. And through Maris Mora's logic, you'll eventually concede because you don't want this curse anymore.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to take it that way, it definitely would work. I mean, Maris Mora, being trapped in his realm, being the next Merak, it's a good way for them to get rid of the Dragonborn, for the next game. And it's, because let's face it, they got rid of the 7th champion of Cyrodiil by making him Sheol Goroth. So now that he's Sheol Goroth...
That was actually a good way to get rid of him.
Yeah, because it's like, oh yeah, we have him here, but he's never going to be him again, So we don't have to give him a defined personality.
I don't like, though, that the Dragonborn, the last Dragonborn, the hero of the universe, who was told to be he's destined for Sovngarde, is a god's bitch.
Yeah, pretty much. But then there was another one. It was called in Morrowind we had him go to Akavir. In Daggerfall we assume he's dead, and we know nothing about the Eternal Champion because they don't care about Arena at all.
To be honest, I saw Morrowind as a big retcon to the franchise.
Morrowind was a colossal retcon to the franchise. I actually explained that in my my lore versus community video, and that whole thing. Why don't you go give us your one more big mod that you want to talk about before we head on off?
Okay. Words. Alternate summoning, visual overhaul. Basically, instead of it's a portal summoning, it's he's coming out of the ground effect. When you summon Atronachs.
So
I also wish that would happen.
They rise up from under the ground, you're saying?
It's a little portal that opens up and they spawn.
Alternate summoning Skyrim?
Yep.
Alternate summoning visuals. Okay. Oh, so yeah, it creates what looks like a soul fissure, and then the enemy rises up from it. I
also wish they would do that for the I can't remember it. The Ash Spawn as well, because it's like it's a white circle. It's like, where do they come from? It's not from a plane of oblivion.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's kind of neat. I actually like that. It circles under their feet, not just swirls. I mean, the swirls kind of make sense for Atronachs, but like for like conjuring the undead, for example. Yep. Not quite the same.
There is an animation of skeletons walking out of the ground in Dawnguard. Why don't you add that as the summoning visual for undead?
Absolutely. Now, immersive lichdom hasn't been added quite yet, has it?
I don't know. I might use that if it allows me to get lichdom a different way.
Immersive lichdom like really supercharges things, gives you like lich perks in the conjuration tree and other stuff. Like it is for at least the vanilla Skyrim, immersive lichdom just adds so much stuff. Yeah. Alrighty then. So yeah. If we go to the Immersive Lichdom page for the Skyrim Regular Edition, by the way, people are calling Skyrim Regular Edition, they're calling it Old Rim.
I hate that.
Yes.
Just call it SCE or SSE.
Yep. Okay, so yeah, it adds a bunch of new perks. It adds a bunch of new spells. Yeah, it definitely changes up the way it works. And there's compatibility patches for like Percus Maximus and Ordinator and stuff like that. So that is a thing. It's by TX. Yeah, it's by TX. He's a very vocal guy in the forums, I gotta say. Like everywhere, pretty much. But yeah, Vampiric Thirst redone. He overhauled Vampiric Thirst. He did a Bat Swarm ability. Let's see. Vampire Lord Spellbook adds new spells.
I want that flying mod that allows you to get wings when you do Dragon Aspect.
Oh, yes, I remember that one.
Because I tried getting a cooldown mod for Odaving, and then using the bind spell on it, so the Dragon line just sucks, even with the overhaul that allows you to do it without a loading screen. I'd rather at this point just fly around and then go to a place.
Yeah. But I do understand the alternate summoning visuals. Have you, for a Necromancer character, ever considered Undead FX?
No. To be honest, I've never played a pure Necromancer.
Okay.
I played a pure Vampire, and that was fun for about a month, and then I got bored of being out in the dark all the time.
Undead FX is interesting because, like, you know, the summons will randomly start decaying. So, like, you may see this guy's jaw, like, underneath the decayed flesh and stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, like I said, I had a really crappy laptop, so I avoided script-heavy mods.
I understand that. All right, howdy, Polly. Good to see you. I got your message saying you're back in town. We'll talk later for sure. But for now, I think it's time that we take a short, 10, 15-minute break and then reconvene with the Overwatches.
Okay.
And so I will see y'all later, and a copy of this will be on the YouTubes eventually for everyone to watch.
My channel.
First, MigrantThought, tell people where you are and what you do.
Well, I am on planet Earth, but I do, when I have time, I put stuff on my YouTube channel. Typically, it's a video on demand of a live stream. I'm trying a new vlog series where I find stuff. Japanese candy and that stuff just fell down. And I opened this up, and well as a few other Funko Pop figures. Then after that, I have another thing and whatever I found, and I'm probably going to do more in-depth stuff with the Skyrim stuff as well, because I have a whole list of things. And there might be an immersive playthrough with my Elsahim character coming out, depending if I have time.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else? Follow me on Twitter at Matt Allenzy.
All right, why don't you go ahead and paste those in the chat a couple times, and I will see y'all in about 10 minutes.
Okay.
You have a good one now.